Welcome to the divisional round of the Tailgate Show. I'm Air Jerry 54, Jeremy Kramer on X. Wow. Well, we got the Rams coming in. Just kind of did a little stat research on them. They get a lot of sacks. Byron Young's their lead sack guy. It's coming from the defensive line. It's not coming from anywhere else. Well, Ryan Poles, we're going to see if your offensive line will stand up to this formidable pass rush. Of course, you got Verse and you got a couple other guys. Interior rush is going to be important to shut down. And, of course, they're going to test whoever plays left tackle. I would assume it's probably Benedict. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see Braxton Jones get some run at some times out on that left tackle. And I would not be surprised to see tackle eligible with either Benedict or Jones playing that spot. I think the key is going to be running the football. Something we haven't really done. We didn't do it against the Packers. We didn't do it against the Lions. And since you've kind of seen a going away from the short pitches where the running backs can kind of pick and choose their holes. But by the same token, that's probably because teams are stopping it more. If ever there's a week to get that going, it's this week. You got to get that run game going. The Rams score touchdowns. They don't kick field goals. We all know Matt Stafford. He had 4,700 yards or some shit. Insane. But, I keep thinking about the 24 game. And this might be a time where we have to go tap into the Flus, maybe. Which is just a disgusting thought. But we played a lot of cover 2. Forced them to move the ball down the field. The run defense is going to be a big deal too. But we are familiar with their center. Coleman Shelton is the center of this Rams offensive line. We know that he can be bullied. I would hope that Dennis Allen puts some center rush on that. Force him to be a decent blocker, because we also know that he can get put on his ass a lot. But I still say, I think it's a good strategy. I mean, going to the Flus's cover 2. C.J. Gardner-Johnson's coming. He was a full participant in the walkthrough, so it looks like he's cleared concussion protocol, hopefully, which will be helpful. That team in 24 didn't have Devontae Adams. And we know what Devontae Adams has been to us over the history of this team. And when he was a Packer, he's a killer. The best thing I can say about this defense is they have amnesia. They've been beaten by things, and that's not stopped them. It's been a struggle to give up that many points to a Green Bay team that probably had no business scoring 27 points against anybody else. But such as it is, You live, you learn, you play the ball, you play the game as it's played. Missing TJ Edwards, it's going to suck. But I really like that Jackson's coming in, and I think he provides a little more speed that TJ couldn't by hook or by crook or by injury or whatever. TJ's he's had a rough year, or not a rough year. He was having a rough game against Green Bay, and they were picking on him. Similarly with Jalen, and similarly with Kyler. You just hope that they're getting in better game shape. I don't know what to expect from Jalen. As long as he's a willing tackler and you got to play coverage in front. Try to keep him in front of him because he looks about a step off, which sucks. But what do you do? Like I said, how do you even stop this Rams offense? And I don't know that you stop them enough. You got to slow them down, and you do have to have a good red zone defense. The sad thing is they're pretty good. They're just a really good touchdown scoring team. They've been more apt to use their tight ends of late, stealing from Ben Johnson, using the 13 personnel that we've used. So we'll watch that. But I think the best way that this Bears game goes is let's make it dirty. It's cold. Force Stafford to be uncomfortable somehow. And I think that mug blitzes with a Jackson, send him a couple of times, or an Ogbongbemiga. There's your $5 foot-long word of the day. Might be your best bet. You gotta find a rush somewhere. Yeah, hell, let's move Montez Sweat inside a couple of times. There's an idea. Who knows? I don't know. These are just some observations. It's just, the more I thought about that, what we've got facing us, you got a good running game with Williams and Corum. They complement each other well. And that's another point where your defensive line's got to get home. Andrew Billingsley and Grady Jarrett and Gervon Dexter. If you're there, buddy, now's the time. You need to shine, and this could be a game where if somehow you can get a rush with 4 up front, it's going to make all the difference. I don't know that they can. They haven't shown that they could do it consistently all year, but ultimately you've got to take it to that Rams offensive line and force Stafford to move, get him off his spot, make him be athletic, because he's not the most athletic guy in the world. Not that he can't sling it, but can he sling it on a run when he's got to be at a dead sprint? He's no Caleb Williams, kids. He is not that. Caleb. This is the game you got to really show your mettle, because you're going to have opportunities. It's an opportunistic Rams defense. I think they're plus 10 in turnover margin right now. So I think they've gotten 16 interceptions as a team, if I read the stats right. So they give up yardage, and they're going to try to turn you over. They're going to try to fool you and confuse you and make you make a mistake. The key's going to be not to make that mistake. Caleb did have 2 picks against Green Bay. They weren't super detrimental. Still, those are points that came off the board eventually. So everything's harder in the playoffs. And the one thing we got is we get them at home. No sunny and 75 here. It's probably going to be chilly and fucking freeze your dick off cold. So we got a shot. I mean, like I said, going into the playoffs, all you can ask for is a chance. And it looks like we're going to get that chance. And if there was ever a time for that running game to get going, now is it. Get Loveland going. Like to see more Cole Kmet getting some passes across the middle. Force those linebackers to play. Force them off that line of scrimmage. And the best way you do that is to throw over top of them and make them drop back. So I look for us to attack across the middle or to the edges so you can clear out the linebacker. Rome still is questionable with the foot. The foot's not great. he does make the catch on the Caleb throw that was just absolutely insane. But you can still tell that he's not up to speed. DJ's banged up as usual. But also, as per usual, he could probably get hit with a bus and he's going to play. So, you got to love that. Olamide Zaccheaus, I'd like to see him get some run this week. And also, Luther Burden. This might be your Luther Burden super duper breakout. I mean, you've got some hella receivers on the other side of the ball. But there's always that one guy that steals the show. And I think Luther Burden could be that. Special teams has got to be on point. From what I understand, the Rams' special teams is not great. So if you can get some plus territory yardage out of your punt and kick return teams, let's force punts first of all. Let's go there. Let's force punts as a defense. We can do it. It is possible. And then we've got to take advantage of it. So Torrey Taylor needs to get his punts off quick. Don't get anything blocked. Don't give them momentum at any point. If you can strangle them out early, and I mean via the run game, via time of possession, make it old school, boring Bears. God, it sucks. It takes forever football. Take their will, break them. That's what you got to do. So, like I said, we got a fighter's chance, and if it gets in the fourth quarter, ooh, the Iceman cometh. You can't help but not have freaking some kind of just confidence with that kid. And I can say kid because I'm an older guy now. But he's got it. When it comes down to it, when the Iceman cometh, he just drops his nuts on people and says, it's my time to shine. So, as usual, like, subscribe, follow, comment, hype. Do all those things if you want to. Appreciate you all. Bear down and have a great divisional playoff game.